Chargers fans, take a deep breath. Today's news cycle is on fire and could shake up our entire plan for the season. There's an unexpected ripple out in the desert, a quiet battle that exploded at practice, a homecoming that warms the heart, and a special team spark that could turn into a roster spot. No spoilers yet, just clues. If you can guess all four, drop it in the comments. Are we staring at the turning point that separates promise from reality? Come with me. You won't believe what we've got today. So grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's dive straight into it. If a rival is about to turn a surplus into trade capital, we need to hear the noise and calculate the impact. Think of a young, inexpensive runner with late-season volume on his resume who suddenly slides down the depth chart after a hyped rookie arrives alongside a speedy veteran. Add a contract in its final year and a market that usually tops out at a late draft pick. What does that spell for Los Angeles? Window of opportunity. When a chance pops up on the other side of the AFC, you can't sleep on it. Hold that thought, because the name surfacing flips on a light in the Chargers' plans. Zamir White. Reports out of the desert say the Raiders view the backfield as a surplus and are ready to listen. White closed 2023 with nearly 400 rushing yards over the final 4 games, proving he can handle volume when called upon. A groin injury then slowed the burst, and the context changed. Even so, the package is attractive. Downhill style, patient gap reads, power to break tackles and wear down tired defenses. He's not a star, but he's exactly the profile that wins ugly games in November. Add a friendly cap hit, a likely day 3 price, and the chance to reboot his career in a physical system. It's the classic low-risk, reasonable return move smart front offices chase. How does that fit with what we have? Omarion Hampton is plan A, and the organization wants to accelerate his development with volume. But not every rookie gets through 17 weeks unscathed. Najee Harris arrived to steady the room, yet his outlook still demands monitoring, and this staff values redundancy. White could be the safety valve, 6 to 10 situational carries per game, patient behind power and counter, useful in short yardage, and the red zone. In pass pro, he's not elite, but he's functional, and he can handle basic swings and checkdowns without telegraphing calls. In an offense trying to control the clock and shorten third downs, that has immediate value and helps preserve the rookie's body. What's the price? Nothing beyond a day 3 pick, over a 5th rounder, and it starts to feel rich for what the market suggests. So the real question isn't, is it worth it? It's, is it worth it now? Timing is everything. Waiting for a potential release risks losing the line to another AFC team that needs depth. The counter-argument is eating into your rookie's snaps, but competition usually accelerates growth, and quality reps can coexist when you have a disciplined system and a clear game plan. If White arrives and pushes Hampton to be more efficient per drive, everybody wins. How do fans feel? The optimists see a hammer for 3rd and 2s that eases Hampton's workload. The skeptics fear capping the rookie's ceiling. I land in the middle. Right price, no desperation, with a specific usage plan. Strategic summary, an insurance play with real upside at low cost. If the Chargers are surgical, this quiet move could swing possessions in January. And that wasn't even the most surprising part of the day. When the most talked about battle of the preseason unfolds away from the main spotlight, that's when it's dangerous for anyone who underestimates it. Behind the scenes in Costa Mesa, the fight for the QB2 job might be deciding not just the offense's safety net, but the direction of the entire project. Here's the twist. A name many wrote off is starting to flip the script. And no, this isn't just a stat sheet duel. It's about trust, narrative, and what it means to carry the clipboard behind Justin Herbert. Taylor Heineke brings veteran savvy, big game experience, quick processing. He can keep the offense on autopilot. Across from him, Trey Lance, a former top 3 pick who carried a heavy early disappointment label. The Chargers invested little money but plenty of hope. A 1-year, $2 million deal. To some, just a camp arm. But the practices and preseason are telling a different story. In recent weeks, the most important second-team reps have started landing in Lance's lap. First as a test, then as the norm. And against the Rams, when the lights were real, Lance flashed the stuff you can't fake in a report. A perfect 34-yard sideline strike to rookie Trey Harris, plus 2 passing touchdowns across the preseason and another on the ground. The line, 296 passing yards, 2 through the air, 1 rushing. More important than numbers, the offense looked like it believed the moment the ball left his hand. Of course, it's not flawless. Ball placement still wobbles, zone reads need polish, and turnover risk lingers. That's where the strategic question hits. Is the known reliability of Heineke, whose ceiling we understand, more valuable than Lance's spark, which could catch fire with runway and confidence? confidence. Over a long schedule, with Herbert inevitably taking hits, the QB2 choice stops being a detail. It's a statement about the plan B you want. And the fans? Some are buzzing about a Lance rebirth in LA, dreaming of a shock-the-world story. Others want the safe route. Backup should be stability, not drama. But practice reps are tough to ignore. Lance is going before Hynock. That's not an accident. That's a trend. If the staff locks this in, the Chargers don't just find a functional backup. They buy a talent lottery ticket at a bargain. And if Lance hits, even just as a rotational spark and healthy pressure behind Herbert, the future of the room gets sturdier. It's no exaggeration to say the road to the Super Bowl also runs through numbered chains. When the unexpected hits, it's the backup who decides whether the dream continues or collapses. And while we digest that locker room battle, there's a feel-good reunion ready to shake the powder blue faithful. There are moments in sports when financial logic bows to emotion and the flame of passion for the game burns brighter. That's exactly what happened when one of the franchise's greatest symbols chose to come back home. Keenan Allen is back in powder blue and gold, and it wasn't for the money. It was for history, legacy, and an unbreakable bond with Justin Herbert and Chargers fans. The news hit like a lightning bolt. Allen accepted a one-year deal worth just $527 million, with a little over $2.255 million guaranteed. For a player of his caliber, still on the market, and certainly able to command more elsewhere, it was practically an act of loyalty. Even so, the contract places Allen among the team's top 10 cap hits for 2025, ironically just above Najee Harris, who also signed a one-year deal. But the real read is this: he chose the challenge and the place he's always shined. On the field, the impact is massive. Even as the years add up, Allen delivered 70 catches, 744 yards, and 7 scores last season in Chicago. He was Caleb Williams' safety blanket, turning a rookie into an instant sensation. Now back with Herbert, expect the nearly telepathic timing that has tortured defenses to return. Add Ladd McConkey, a young playmaker ready to pop, and the picture gets downright scary for opponents. Allen and McConkey can be one of the league's most dangerous tandems.
And that's not all. Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith are flashing as draft day gems, ready to push veterans and add depth. Quentin Johnston still has a point to prove, and suddenly a receiver room that looked in transition morphs into a complete arsenal. With Allen back, the hierarchy settles. Herbert regains his fourth-quarter outlet, while the rookies can grow without carrying the offense on their shoulders. Fans reacted in full force, euphoria, love letters, even tears on social media. Many said, having Keenan back makes the team feel whole again. Strategically, it's just as powerful. With more than $27 million in cap space, the Chargers still have ammo to address other areas. But landing Allen at this number was a silent checkmate, an unexpected move that changes the board. And you can't ignore the symbolism. He could have played the cold market, but chose to return and continue building what he started, a winning identity in Los Angeles. That choice energizes the locker room, inspires rookies, and proves that championships aren't only in the quarterback's arm, they're in the heart of the guys who wear the jersey. While the emotion of that homecoming lingers, preseason still has room for surprises, and one of them exploded on a single special team snap. In the NFL, there's an inconvenient truth. A player's fate is often sealed not by pure offensive or defensive talent, but by impact on special teams. That's exactly where an undrafted rookie lit up the stage and gave the Chargers staff the best kind of headache. His name, Luke Grimm. When he housed a 66-yard punt return against the Rams, Grimm didn't just put points on the board, he put his name into the conversation. It was the kind of play that flips the energy of an entire preseason game. Burst, perfect read of the blocks, a sharp cut that shredded the coverage, and the speed to hit pay dirt. For fans, it was shock and hope. For coaches, a delicious problem. How do you ignore a guy who turns one chance into magic in front of everyone? Grimm arrived without hype from Kansas, where he totaled 777 catches, 2,472 yards, and 23 touchdowns in college. Not a draft headline, but he built a reputation for being reliable, tough, and versatile. And as if that return weren't enough, he popped again the very next practice, scoring on a red zone out route from Herbert. Not luck, consistency. Now the dilemma: the Chargers' receiver room is packed. McConkey, Allen, Johnston, Harris, Lambert-Smith, and veterans like Jalen Reagor and Darius Davis still in the fight. Add Brendan Rice and other hungry young guys. Normally, Grimm would be just another name trimmed on cutdown day. But when a player shows direct special teams impact, especially on a splash return, he forces a rethink. Coaches know games are often decided by short fields, and a return like Grimm's can be the difference between playoffs and early vacations. Strategically, the path is clear. He doesn't have to be WR2 or WR3. He just has to be the guy who flips field position, who snags an extra 20 yards on a return, who scares opponents every time they punt. That's how a UDFA wins the league over. And a fan base has already bought in. Social timelines are full of Keep Grimm, turning the rookie into a symbol of beating the odds. Will it earn him a spot? Still an uphill fight. But one thing is obvious, Grimm changed the narrative, from anonymous to factor. If he keeps stacking moments, he'll force tough decisions, maybe even squeeze out a veteran, because at the end of the day, football is about impact. And Grimm proved he can deliver it in one snap. Chargers fans, what we just saw proves that every detail matters. Rival rumors can open doors to unexpected reinforcements. Internal battles shape the team's immediate future. A historic reunion restores the offense's identity, and even an unheralded rookie can ignite the preseason. That's how you build a special season, a mix of emotion, strategy, and surprises. Now I want to hear from you. Which story hit you hardest? Drop your take in the comments, smash that like, subscribe to the channel, and share this with the Bolt fam. Powder Blue Nation deserves a united, powerful voice.